Greetings, Game Pass or Pass subscribers. Corey here. If you missed the announcement during the previous episode, this is just a segment that we did at the end of Mullet Mad Jack about AI and gaming, and it ended up being about 30 minutes long. So we just wanted to kind of do a breakout episode, just on our thoughts on those kind of things, because I think it's a pretty interesting topic, and Microsoft is going pretty hard with that. So enjoy this talk, and then the next episode, which will be out next week, is for Balatro. Let's see what we got here. Please share your thoughts on Xbox announcements for Copilot for gaming. My immediate reaction was repulsion and scoffing, but after thinking about it some more, maybe this actually is a smart thing. Isn't there a truth to the modern gamer needing a lot of hand-holding? And if so, this is a way for Microsoft to keep people on their platform without having to consult YouTube, Reddit, etc. So if you're not familiar with this, Microsoft is doing a couple new initiatives, and one of them is going to be it's basically confirmed that their new Xbox, whatever the next generation is, and this handheld that they're working on in conjunction with Asus, but they're also working on their own that's going to launch alongside supposedly in like 2027. It's going to be x86 based. They're sort of removing that console layer in general, and part of that is going to be Copilot for gaming. And so sort of here's just a couple of examples of, let's say someone is playing Minecraft and they've never played before. So the Copilot for gaming is it'll actually put sort of prompts on the screen, and it's going to say like, this person says, okay, I've got wood. Now what do I do? And it says craft the oak logs into the wooden planks by opening your inventory and placing the logs in the crafting area. So that was just one of the instances. And so sort of some of the quotes here is, gaming is the only form of entertainment where you can get stuck. So that's where you want something to show up and say, hey, let's help you get past that. Copilot for gaming is built on three principles: capability, adaptability, and personalization. It is designed to assist the player in various ways, from personalized game recommendations and seamless game setup to helpful coaching and maintaining connections with friends. Kadar emphasized that the player remains in control, deciding how and when to interact with the Copilot, ensuring that it enhances rather than disrupts the gaming experience. One of the primary problems Kadar highlighted that Copilot for gaming aims to solve for is time management to help players spend less time on tasks, searching, downloading, updating, and more time on what they love, playing games. All of it is within one goal: to help you get to the play first, whether it's connecting players with games that they're likely to enjoy or reminding you from where you left off on your old favorite. Copilot for gaming is set to make gaming with Xbox more seamless and personalized. Let's see, I'm sort of skimming here. It's not just about AI showing up to help you, it's about AI showing up in the right moment. We really have to think about our experience we've built. It cannot be intrusive. So that's on the surface, right? And so AI is sort of a hot topic right now about like, is it going to be a problem? Is it taking away jobs? Is it infringement? Et cetera, et cetera. So what's your first thought on Copilot for gaming and sort of that idea of it being like a virtual assistant and connecting you and helping you in a game?
I love the technology behind it. I love the idea of an AI program or system being able to affect your gaming time, I guess. But I guess my issue is I don't like the specific implication of it. I guess like I don't like the idea that we're using the AI to help you get unstuck from a video game. Like I like the idea that AI can be in the video game to connect you. Like I don't know how it would. I don't know what it would do, but like connect you with friends in some sort of cool way, add to the gameplay experience, but to help you through like a puzzle, like that's just in the game. like you know, like it's like, what do I do with the wood in like the very specific example they use is like that's a tutorial in Minecraft. Like,
well, and it is, but it isn't, right? Like, and
then if it's not in the game, you're defeating the purpose of playing said game. I'm not trying to go all the way to the side of like, get good Souls fans, people. That's not what I'm trying to say. But if you use that in a game like what's that game we played it took place on the moon?
Astroneer.
Yeah, if you use that on a game like Astroneer, you're literally robbing yourself of countless experience time.
God, it's such a multifaceted thing. Um, I'm actually on the side of like AI implementation in most scenarios, but you're talking to somebody who uses ChatGPT probably daily to get tasks done that are just easier. For me, it's about organization, it's about time saving, and it's about that's the main one, is time saving, and my time is valuable. And,
I agree.
And as somebody, like you just said, the Minecraft thing. Look, I am not a Minecraft player. My brain does not work that way. I don't have a creative bone in my body. And that's sort of the number one, argument against AI is it's like it robs of creativity. And it's like, yeah, I guess it could. There's definitely some merit to that argument of just like it's going to rob people of this, and it's like, but at the same time, like it's tough. But on this particular implementation, I'm for it, because as somebody said, that this is the modern era where people will go to a YouTube page to get past a part that they can't figure out. And like you said, it could be robbing them of it, but I'd be lying if I said I haven't done it for games that I super enjoy. Like sometimes it's just like, dude, I cannot figure this out and I'm getting frustrated, and like I could put it down and come back, or I could just Google this and get through it. And the most recent one that I thought about was Resident Evil 3, maybe? It was one of the Resident Evil games we played. I know Resident Evil. I know what it is. I know how to do it. There was one of those safes that I came up to, and I was just like, I want to open this safe. I don't feel like going back and forth. It's like, go to this area for the code, and it's just like, or I could just Google it. You know what? I'm going to Google it, kind of thing. And I did that simply because I don't particularly like the puzzle aspects of some of those games where it's like, go look at this wall and remember this 4-digit code. Yeah, it's like, I don't want to do that. I'm here for the zombies and the shooting kind of thing. So anytime that there's like something that it wants me to remember, and this is the part that where people that get super upset is like, that used to be how game design was. It's like, hey, we're going to give you this small clue, write it down and do this. But we're also in the modern era of game design where the game treats us like idiots. And it just, as long as you find that code in 90% of modern games, it puts it in a log, it puts it in somewhere, and it's like, hey, you found this code that's 4192 or whatever. And so like you could argue that that's also pulling away from the game now. It's like, so if the developers are already implementing it in their game, like who's right and who's wrong, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, I completely agree with that scenario, by the way. Like, it might have been that same game, if not a game like it, where it's like I approach a safe, it's asking for a code. I didn't get the code, so I Google the code. Like it's like that. Like the AI implementation in that part, I get, but again, it's like, I mean, I guess it's up to the player, up to the developer. Like, is this something that is overlaid? Is this something that's automatically in every game now on Xbox, or is this something a developer has to go through their process to implement it for the game? Is the question, I guess.
I would assume it's going to be an opt-in or opt-out kind of thing, because the whole idea of it being AI and being programmed by Microsoft is that the developer shouldn't have to do anything. Like,
right.
The AI is supposed to do its thing. It's supposed to cache, whatever, read whatever. I mean, it's an LLM. It's a language learning model, and that's what Copilot, that's what ChatGPT is, et cetera. It's not its own thinking entity. It is reading the internet. It is taking the information that you put in, and it's trying to make sense in a way that is human-like. It's the best case scenario in terms of what it thinks is correct, kind of thing. But it can be wrong too. On the topic of Minecraft, like, this is where it does get tricky, in that I think you could argue that in a game like Minecraft, if I had somebody, I won't say holding my hand, but I don't really have a desire for recipes. I don't really desire to have my computer up and telling me like what to do with wood or what to do with whatever. And we've also reached a point with that game where it's like, if you're a new player, like, you're almost hazed, It's just like, if you haven't figured out by now, like, how to make a house or whatever, is anybody really going to help you? Maybe, maybe not. So what am I going to do?
Absolutely.
I'm either going to figure it out, or I'm going to pull up a YouTube video. Like,
absolutely, they are. But for that game, it's like, again, like as you said, it's very, very specific, I guess, because for that game, like, specifically, it's like my niece, she's playing that game most of her life, and most of her short life. She's only 13. She's playing that game. She's like, what, 7, 8 or something, like. she's never complained about figuring out how things work. And if a 7 to 8 year old can figure it out, we can figure it out, you know? So like it's and figuring it out was part of the process for her. They did that, and that built a lot of you can argue is useless, but I think it's valuable knowledge, like problem solving knowledge, like not just in that game, but just in life in general. Like it's like how your brain works. It starts firing off those receptors and connecting the dots there. But I don't think it's that deep, you know. Like if it's, I think I'm kind of lukewarm on it in a sense that I don't really care. It won't affect my experience. However, what I hope to see from it is actual advancements in gaming. I don't see Copilot as an advancement in gaming. It's just, for me right now, the way they describe it, it's just a way of not picking up your phone to Google the answer. Like that's cute,
right? Cool.
Like you know, like that's fine. But I'd rather you use AI to generate. Again, I can't think of it off the top of my an example off the top of my head, but like I don't know, like just something that you're not that you're stuck in a game situation, but rather you need the game to do something for you, and you ask the AI to do it, and then somehow the game works with the AI, and then it magically creates it for you. I think that's cooler than
also, or if the game is playing itself, that's a different scenario. Like if I get to that safe in Resident Evil and it doesn't just give me the code, it just inputs the code for me. That's a different scenario entirely. Because then if it's like I'm playing Minecraft and it's like, oh here, let me make the wood for you. It's just like, okay, at that point, no, like that defeats the purpose. But you could also argue that it's sometimes in some games, like I think of Monster Hunter, like that's a game that is very obtuse, and it's not that I don't want to enjoy it. It's that the first 3 to 4 hours of it are such an assault on just like tutorialization of just like, you got to learn this, you got to learn this, you got to learn this, you got to learn this. And then eventually once that ends, one or two things happens. It's either just like, okay, I feel overwhelmed or I don't like this. I guess it could be, let me say two things that could happen in a negative way is I'm overwhelmed or I don't like this. Or it's the opposite, and where it's like, okay, I'm digging this, I'm going to keep playing, et cetera, et cetera. Part of that is that if, let's say I don't have 3 hours in one sitting, and it's like, okay, I'm going to start this game and I only have an hour tonight. And then it turns out I couldn't play for another 3 or 4 days. It's like, I'm going to forget everything in that first hour kind of thing. So if the AI can sort of remind me of what I played, or at least, again, do that thing that a lot of games are already doing, in that it constantly tutorializes you of just like, go here, stupid. When you get here, press X, stupid. You know, that like it's already taught me how to play, but it's assuming that I'm dumb, and it's assuming that I need to keep being told what to do. And I think you could also argue that while this is the baseline integration of like, hey, I need the code to XYZ, how do I do it? You could also have it to be like, if the AI is smart enough to train of just like, hey, this person clearly knows what they're doing, let's use AI to maybe turn off some of those tutorials. It can work the other way. Will it be the more common implementation? Probably not. But I think you could argue that it would be used to also enhance things. One thing I look at is Ubisoft's most recent the Assassin's Creed games have those two different modes of guided experience or sort of more open experience, to where the guided experience literally gives you pinpoints of where to go. And the open experience is just, hey, it's in this area, I need you to kind of find it. And I think that's actually a really smart thing to do, because it gives players option, but it also sort of lets you decide how difficult you want to make this. It's a very basic and rude implementation of it, but I think that's the start of sort of removing some of that tutorialization and sort of giving the player the option of like, how hard do I want this to be? I think AI could also make that easier to figure out. So,
I mean, perhaps. I mean, but again, like that's where it gets to the idea of how much interactivity does the developer have with the AI at that point? Because in the case of a Ubisoft game, you're still going to get the hours and upon hours of tutorialization. Like even if the AI says, hey, you figured this out already. Like you're still doing that walking mission with them, you know?
Right.
Like Ubisoft is not going to stop doing that ever, apparently. The same with Monster Hunter. I mean, I think I'm on that. As far as I can tell, I think I'm for Monster Hunter's Wilds. That's the new one, right? Wilds,
yeah.
I think I'm on like the third to last monster right now, and I'm still getting tutorialization. I agree with you. Like that's where I want it to. Again, that's what I want it to do. That's why I wanted. That's why I wanted to go to do something that actually changes the gameplay. Like like that actually interacts with the gameplay. I mean, I think it's a perfect example of going to a chest and just having it open the chest for you. Like that's great. But to be a Google Assistant, I kind of don't care. I mean, like it's neither here nor there for me. I don't think it really helps or hinders the experience for the most part. If anything, I think it hurts the experience. I'd rather, like if my niece is playing Minecraft, she does not build a house, I'd rather her go online and build the human connection to figure out how to build a house rather than stay to her stuff in her room locked in the basement or wherever gamers do now and be like, all right, it's just me by myself figuring this out. Like not to get philosophical with it, but that's already a bigger issue I'm having with the world and people. It's like everyone's so insulated. Like where it's like back in my day, like if I had my cousin didn't have a computer inside of his house, so we had to go down to the library, use a library card, use that computer, talk to a person, do the whole thing, walk back. And it's like, I remember that being part of an experience, that right. Kids now is like, yeah, that's a whole lot of work I don't want to do. I get it. But at the same time, like that's the experience to me. I'm like, I'm glad I did that actually. Like, it's like I'd rather AI be more than a Google Assistant and more of a gameplay enhancer, as you put it, than just another way for kids to be like, here's another reason I don't need to speak to somebody.
Yeah, that's fair. And that's part of that, though, again, what you just said was there also seems to be a digital sort of mindset to a lot of people when it comes to AI. It's like, it does this or it does this. And really what it is like with ChatGPT, this is something that I tell my team, I run a tech team, is just like, don't use it to be like, you don't use it to do your work. You use it to make your work easier. I always call it feeding. You don't use ChatGPT, you feed ChatGPT. Like for instance, I recently needed a bunch, like 55 emails. I needed them compiled into a PDF and I needed them in chronological order. So I pumped all those into it. I said, put these in chronological order, and it spat it out in like 35 seconds. I could have done that myself, but it would have taken a lot of time. I don't go to ChatGPT to type my emails for me. Like that's the difference. I use it as a tool to help me. If you're using ChatGPT to do things for you, or AI to do things for you, I think that's where it gets kind of weird. And I think a majority of people are going to do it for that reason. I don't think a lot of people are going to. I don't even think they know what ChatGPT can do. If I told them that I use that to create PDFs and make things in chronological order, I think they'd be surprised. Like, wait, what? You can do that kind of thing? They think of it as a platform that I type in a word of just like, make me a panda that's holding apples, and then all of a sudden it makes them. Like they don't think of it that way. So. Yeah, as with everything, it's just down to how people decide to use it at the end of the day.
Absolutely, it's a tool, and I hope, like, and that's why I'm a little more sour on it, to be honest with you. Like, to like brass tacks, if another company, I don't know who, was saying, here's our Copilot program, here's our AI program for video games, I'd be more hopeful about it. When Microsoft does it, I just don't like.
Right. That's fair.
Like, I'm sorry, but then they're not going to, as you put it, feed the system. They're just going to be like, what's the easiest possible way we can use this? Like,
right, and it's for engagement.
Way.
Yeah. It's for engagement. That's all it is. It's not about sales numbers anymore with them. It's about engagement, which is, you can argue up and down that that's just a scapegoat, but like, no, like when you look at the modern video game landscape, people are playing what? Fortnite, Minecraft, Warzone. Like that is a majority of people's playtime, and this is a tool that is designed to either get people into those games like Minecraft, which Microsoft owns, or keep you inside the games that they want you to be in. And they want you to engage with those games longer because then you'll spend more money, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely.
I think there's also an argument to be made. Like if a tutorial in a game sucks, AI could also help you there too. And I think you could also argue that,
right.
Yeah, you could argue that in games where if I haven't played this game in a week, I just don't remember this thing, and I have to pull up a video. It's like if there was something on that was just smart enough to, it's like, oh, you just need to do this. It might trigger something in my brain. Like yeah, we're talking in circles now. But
I'm trying to see like
it's how you use it. So
I'm trying to see now, like as we're talking about it, I'm trying to think of a real world like example of like a game I played recently where I would want AI in it to do a thing for me, like, and I'm kind of having a hard time. Like I'm playing Monster Hunter, I'm playing Marvel Rivals, honestly, like.
So you bring up Marvel
informational
Rivals
feedback would be a good one. Like if I play Marvel Rivals and it's like, hey, like you missed these many shots, or you're good at shooting from this location, like. If it gives me that kind of like information, like tactical information, I might love that, Like if you're playing Call of Duty. Go ahead.
With Overwatch. So they used Overwatch as an example of team comp, of it being like, hey, I think they're going back to 6-on-6 or whatever, but let's just whatever. So it's like, hey, these are the 5 people that were picked. This is the person you should pick based upon the team comp. And like, some would argue like that's the point of the game, is finding the team comp. And it's just like, maybe for like hardcore players, but if like, dude, I like Overwatch, but like, I don't follow the narrative. I don't follow the like who gets buffed and who gets, whatever, like who gets nerfed. And it's just like, I think that's actually a really smart thing to do. Also, I don't have to do it. Like if it's like, hey, you should be Mercy. And it's like, no, I'm not playing Mercy. Screw that. Like,
right.
Like, and that's the thing is like AI doesn't force you to do anything. So with you, I'm just like, no, like that's actually really good feedback for me of just like, okay, like I do want to be a team player. Let me try this character. Maybe I've never played it before. And it's saying that I'm clearly missing something about this character. Maybe I should be Mercy. Maybe there's something about Mercy I don't understand, and it's, again, if I'm just sitting there being like, who should I play? Okay. Like, I would never use it that way. I'm never going to just be like, have the game play for me. But at the same time, if somebody wants to play Overwatch, it's only played it once or twice, and there's something there to kind of tell them like, hey, you should maybe check this out. I think that's a good thing. Like, I don't see how that harms anybody.
Yeah, I agree. Like, as long as it's your information is not shared with other people, I feel like that's fine. Like, I would like, in those specific examples, some personal feedback on my gameplay and what I could do to be better. That's cool. But I mean, like, past that, I want it to be integrated with gameplay, like literally with the gameplay. So like until we get to that point, to me, they're using it like more like what you said, where it's kind of like they're not feeding it, they're just telling it to do something for you. So like until then, it's like I feel like it's more of a Google Assistant that I won't engage with too much, but I think this is a good first step to AI inside the game, like really inside the DNA of the game. And I think that can be infinitely valuable, because I'm with you and overall with AI, like AI is going to take over my job personally soon. And that it is what it is. That's how technology works. I'm okay with it. I like the way AI is going with things. So like I'm happy to see it integrated in games to a point where it's actually changing the core gameplay, and I'm not to a point where I'm not engaging with the AI. I'm engaging with the game. Like you see this online with some YouTubers are doing walkthroughs with like games like Skyrim and stuff where they're inputting AI into the NPC characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of like, that's kind of great. like non-scripted dialogue with NPCs who already have their daily routine and they're talking to other NPCs. Like that's what creates literal living, breathing worlds. You know, like let's get to that point, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, and that's it's a work in progress. I think that these notions that it's just going to destroy everything, I just don't think that is a doomsday scenario. That's a sensational scenario or opinion of like it's not, it can't do that, kind of thing. Now, as you said, like it might take over your job here soon, and it's like I'm not part of that world, so maybe it's ignorant for me to speak. And it's like, sure,
it will, but I don't care. Like,
but it's
like it is what it is.
It's also a personal touch kind of thing. Like if somebody is going to AI to make images or use what they were, like they probably weren't going to go to a professional anyway. Like I'm sure there's a Venn diagram that shows that no, some people are no longer going to go to a professional. But if anything, it's also like, as I've gotten older and had to work on different projects and stuff, like there are some times where the AI makes sense, but other times like, no, this needs to be done correctly. Like I can't have this done by a computer kind of thing. So as with everything, I think eventually it's going to shake out. And the gaming sphere, gaming tends to be on the cutting edge of a lot of things. And I think this is just going to be another step of that, of where it's going to end up being just like Copilot and ChatGPT are. It's going to be a glorified, what do I do? How do I do this? And instead of us going to Google, we're going to go to an AI assistant that's just going to scan what we would have done on Google and spit it out so we can do it in 30 seconds instead of 5 minutes. Like I think that's going to be the end all be all of it. So
yeah, which to me, I'm like, I don't care at that point,
Right. Like, time saving. That's exactly what I use AI for. And so I'm okay with it. So, but all right. That was a long discussion about AI. Probably could have been its own episode, but when it comes to Mullet Mad Jack, play it, pass it on. We'll keep an eye on that stuff with the Copilot. I think it's going to be hitting public here sometime in the summer. So we'll see what's going on. But I think the next episode we're going to talk about Balatro. And after that, I'm not sure. It's kind of up in the air. Adamfall did come out. I'm going to check that out, see if it's something we're going to do an episode on. So, but all right, you got anything else, sir?
Nope. Good days.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Game Pass or Pass. We'll see you next time with Balatro.